It takes me back to, I remember a first university course I had on psychology, and it's talking about internal and external locus of control. If I remember the concept correctly, it said that there are people, there are kind of two ways of looking at your environment and your ability to impact outcomes on the environment. There are those of us who Hey, welcome to the Lesson Guru Show. I'm Anthony DeGazon, and today I want to talk to you about a growth mindset concept. And it's kind of piggybacking off of two things. One was a podcast that I had heard recently featuring a guy named Hal Elrod, and he was the author of Miracle Morning, How to Create a Miracle Morning. It's a book talking about how do you shape your mindset and to impact your day. So that really just, made me say, hey, let's have a conversation, a brief conversation about this kind of concept, which is like what's going on in your inner mind, and how do you deal with that a little bit, and then what the impact that might be on your exterior world. So it takes me back to, I remember a first university course I had on psychology, and it's talking about internal and external locus of control. If I remember the concept correctly, it said that there are people, there are kind of two ways of looking at your environment and your ability to impact outcomes on the environment. There are those of us who, from time to time, or just people who have a typical framework, but let's take it for a moment in time, for example. So in a moment in time, you say, what's my ability to impact the outcome and influence the outcomes? And the way you look at it, it's like there are all these external things that impact you, that are coming at you, that are coming against you, that are helping you, or that are influencing how things are going to turn out in a particular area or in general. And when you're looking at the external things, that's saying you're having an external locus of control, meaning that your ability to influence what happens, the power is given up, and the outcomes are based more heavily on things that are outside of your ability to impact. It's based on an external force or an external stimulus or effect that says that you really don't have any impact on what's going to happen, versus the internal locus of control, which says the way things are going to turn out are much more largely shaped by the way you think, that your view of your power to influence change, your what you could possibly do to make something happen in a different way, or to increase the likelihood of success, the way you think about from a positivity standpoint, what you are your hope in the future, the strategies that you think you can employ to do things, the relationships or tools or resources that you can figure out and use to be able to have things turn out the way you're looking for it. External says everything outside has more of a bearing on how things are going to turn out for you. Internal locus of control says I have an ability to impact and to change, influence the outcome in different areas based on how I view the world and what I bring to it. So let me take you to the post that kind of started this off. It was a social media post in a particular group, and this is what it says: alert. And I'm going to let you see it right here. It's going to be right here. Right? So the alert, growth mindset shift. It doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world. As kids learn to take control and optimize their inner world, meaning what's going on in here and their heart, they can begin to create the outer world and shape circumstances that they want. So this is not, I don't want it to be thought of that we kind of have a name it and claim it kind of philosophy here, where I just go, boop, hey, this is going to happen, and then it's going to happen. That's not where I'm going here. I'm also not saying that, irrespective of our past and our future and what's happening in the outside world, I'm not saying that it has no impact on our ability to influence and to make change and to generate or have our efforts result in a particular outcome. I'm not saying that the external doesn't impact us. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that we, through the way we see the world, what we think, and the positive mindset and attitude, the belief systems that we have in ourselves, that we can learn, we can try hard things, we can create and dream and imagine and problem solve and take risks and learn from our mistakes and move on and actually accomplish it. Basically, I'm saying this is all internal, right? What we can bring to the world is the only thing, is one of the mostly the major thing that we can control, right? We can control how we think. That's the opportunity here. And part of it is a learned type of behavior, the way we control what we're thinking about. Do we think about the negative outcomes and the things that we're most afraid of happening? The things that we can see that are likely going to bring it down and end up in the wrong result, we can dwell on that, or we can dwell on the possibility and the hope and what we can do, the steps that we can take, and the belief in ourselves. That kind of mindset requires practice and discipline, especially when we're faced with either a history of maybe things not working out the way you want to in a lesser or even a very great sense, or we're trying to do something that we've never done before. It's bigger than we've done before, but the reality still is. And I think by and large we have an innate sense, and we have a belief, right? A core and internal belief that kind of says, hey, you know what? If I think more positively about the situation and about myself and about tomorrow, that should bring to bear an increased likelihood of success. So the growth paradigm, or the growth mindset paradigm shift that I was bringing it back, it says, in a way, really, it doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world, because what we can do is learn to take control and optimize what's going on in our inner world. And this is what I'd love for our kids. This, as a parent, this is what I've tried to teach my kids, and want to keep reinforcing that with them, as I have to keep reinforcing it with me. You know what? Keep focusing and controlling the inner world so that we can create and have the most ability to impact and influence the outcomes in the outer world, and to have it turn out the way we want. I mean, hey, why wouldn't we want to do the best that we can to be more positive and have the greatest chance of success? And my belief is that actually starts up in the way we think, what we think, how we feel, what we believe. And it's like, want to bring that to bear on the future so that we can influence and impact the future to be able to increase the likelihood that future that we're working towards, that we're dreaming about, that we want, that it can more likely come to be. So that's what I wanted to leave you with. Thanks so much for listening. Now, if you like what you're listening to, please click on the link below to subscribe, share it, comment below. It's like, hey, you know what? You may have an experience or a thought that you say, yeah, no, I don't actually agree with that. Or say, yeah, you know what? I kind of hear where you're coming from. This is the way I see it. Or yeah, bam, you're right back on. So like, comment, share, subscribe to this. And until next time, I'm Anthony DeGazon from the Lesson Guru Show. Thanks so much. Looking for a brighter tomorrow with you. Take care. Bye-bye.